All right. So, hey, everybody, it's Myeashia Edmond, licensed cosmetologist in the state of New York. I am also a World Trichology Society certified trichologist, and I have an awesome guest tonight in Myeashia, okay? Because we have discovered that all Myeashias are awesome. Get with it. And
Yes.
so we are so excited to hear what she has going on. This is a new endeavor in that I wanted to reach out to women whose name is Myeashia and they are making an impact in their community, in their industries, and in lives. And so I'm super excited. She has professionally gone by Oshun
Yes.
since 99,
Yes.
but she's still a Myeashia.
All
So
day.
all
All the
day. So
letters.
I'm excited. I need you to share this, and I need you to know that it's about to go down. So, Myeashia Oshun, could you just introduce yourself a little bit for us today?
Okay. Hey, Myeashia. My name is Myeashia. I am from West Philadelphia, born and raised. I will say I spell my name M-Y. My parents spelled my name Myeashia. I believe the traditional spelling is Maisha, but sometimes we gotta get a little spicy. You
A little
know,
bit.
we know our daughter gonna be a little special, so let's just throw all the
Right.
vowels in there.
Put
So
them in there.
yeah, so I'm from Philadelphia. Went to high school there. I left and went to undergrad in South Carolina, and that's around 99. I went natural, and then I started around my senior year helping some of my friends transition to the natural life. And when I went to grad school in Baltimore, I started doing it for supplemental income, and it became my life. It saved my life.
Wow. Wow. So, wait, how did it save your life?
The monotony and the bureaucracy of the field I was getting into was drowning. It was suffocating. And I wanted to work directly with Black people. I wanted to empower in some type of way. And I thought it was like local, small government, but it was actually on a grassroots community level. So
Right.
after, I joined some organizations, eventually dropped out of grad school, and through hair and the organizations I was part of, it was an outreach with Black people. It was a connection. It was bond, and it was still nation building, and it was still beautifying and adornment, and it ended up being everything that I needed.
You know what? I was looking at just so many things that you had in your bio. I was going to read the whole thing,
Please don't.
because I got time and
I'm a
I have a cup of
workaholic.
water. So, but I mean, you have done so much, absolutely amazing stuff. I'm looking at, well, when I first initially even looked at your Instagram, I noticed, and that was the River Ocean, right?
Yes, yes.
And that, I mean, just starting there with the hairstyles, like the intricacies. I think one of my favorite ones is the one where you wrapped, was it already locks or like you did something with, I gotta pull it up. I was like, what is she doing? Like,
That's
how did,
that it's probably some type of lock extension, temporary lock, something like that. I love working with my hands, so
okay.
to that repetition and the rhythm of that, it puts me in a trance. I love doing it. Even with the twists with the natural hair, it almost when it's finished, it almost like celestial or almost like indigenous. It looks like a map. That's why I'm wearing my Harriet Tubman shirt.
Yes.
It just reminds me of the things that are I've learned that are inherently is the cultural retention that we
Right.
have, the way it feels on my fingertips, learning that there's so many men and women in my family that did hair, and my mom and my aunties included, and it just felt, it just feels wonderful. So I'm glad it looks good, but it feels really good too.
I mean, when I saw, like, there's one that, like you said, looks like a map. It's like almost topographical, and it's like it spins, but then there's a part, and it
And then
looks like
there's
a
bumps
crown.
to the texture
Yeah,
of
and
the hair. Yeah.
I'm like, what? It's like a crown, and you really don't know where it ends or begins. So it's
I
really
noticed.
like
Yeah.
very artsy, and I really love it. And so one of the things that I really wanted to ask was, so Baltimore stand up. If y'all from Baltimore, you know anybody from Baltimore,
Yes,
I
please.
really need y'all to get live, get hype. Come on,
Sweet and
share,
gritty. I love my city. Yeah,
because
it's a
it's
great
so
place to
funny.
be.
It's crazy because like when I posted that I was going to interview you, a few of the Baltimore heads were like, yes, and I'm like, okay,
Ah,
I got some, I got somebody
listen.
in here, okay. So what I really want to know is that passion. Okay, so you have the whole that whole thing where you're really connecting with the hair and you're bringing it into like all different parts of your life. How did you connect, like, I want to say fashion, like designer, and the hair, and even breaking the I think you used the classic ideology of what beauty is. How did
Eurocentric styles of beauty.
Yeah, like how did you connect all of those things, I guess, to really become who we see today?
Oh, that's a great question. Only thing I could think of, like one of the very first moments is when I first moved here. I started working at a salon called Dreads and Heads, and most everyone in the East Coast, they know Dreads and Heads. It's a very it's a great salon, and we were part of a fashion show or something, and I needed to figure out what to do with my client's hair at the last minute, and I couldn't put a style in there, so I put three ponytails, and we grabbed some fabric, and I just wrapped it up, and I just tried to just figure something out because I just could not do her hair, and I was new there. I didn't want to like embarrass myself or disappoint the owner, and I was just trying to figure some stuff out, and it miraculously it worked. And actually, someone took a picture of her. I think I was like 26,
Wow.
and I remember just being nervous and just so surprised that she looked so good with it that I eventually had locks for about 2 years at that point. And I tried it with my hair, different ways of wrapping African fabric with my locks, be it like braids to make it wavy, just trying different things, and trying to match it with my skirts, making little homemade skirts, and then just trying to do other things. Well, maybe I could add some leather to it, or maybe I can add some chains to it. My mom, she's been super crafty my whole life, so there's always nicks and knacks. I wish I could show you this room. It's always some nicks and knacks, and there's always things that I could just put together and just
Right.
create. And sometimes when grad school got boring, I just wanted to do something else, and that kind of took away the anxiety of grad school and pressures of relationships in life. And it's part of it's fun, but it's part of like connecting me with myself, because
Right.
school and all that stuff, you're like a robot. So
Right.
it just feels good, playing with texture, creating, and letting it's just all mine.
Wow. So even with that, I can see like where the birthing of like the designer came in, and it was like on the fly, like, what do I do? So it was like inherently in you. Like you said, your mom's always been crafty and stuff like that. So then I look at the t-shirts, and especially this one right here that you have on.
Yes.
It's really cute. Okay.
Thank you. Thank
And
you.
so if you look down at the bottom of the screen, the audacity of she that is actually one of the pages that you have on Instagram. Am I correct?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And so tell me about this t-shirt line. Tell me about what it represents and what it's about.
Absolutely. The t-shirt came out of just conversations in the salon with the sisters, and it was, the conversation in the salon. It can be anything. Of course, we talk about ourselves, our families, our children, our men, our girlfriends, and certain conversations lead to, a riot, a memorable time. Certain conversations lead to tears and healing, and education and all that stuff. Some things
Right.
we come in and we learn about, so many things about ourselves and about our culture and our people. And I had a conversation with the client, and I think we said a phrase. I don't even remember what the phrase was. It might have been the orgasm, never fake your orgasms, but it became a phrase, and it's like, let's put on a shirt. And it went really well. It went really well. And so this shirt is the Harriet Tubman shirt. It's a great conversation piece. Basically, it's just like all the characteristics of Harriet Tubman. Of course, we turned the N into her just because it's a Black woman centered brand. So she's a conductor, an advocator, a protector, a disruptor. She's everything. And of course, at the end, she's our beloved ancestor. And so I have a few shirts that represent or describe the characteristics of just womanhood, characteristics of just being an African. I have one from Mary McLeod Bethune. She's a great educator. And I also have T-shirts that it's just this a silhouette of Africa. And it says descendants. So that's my highest, that everyone loves that one. It's of course paying homage to when can't think of his name right now, Kendrick Lamar, when he was on the Grammys and he had the Compton shirt. So it's just like, the diaspora is universal, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's just like, let's just put what we are, we don't have to be this country, that country, we are it.
Right.
So yes.
I like that we are it. And yes. So, okay, because your name is Myeashia, so you're pretty much it. Yeah. Did anybody? Okay, I don't know. So really, when I was
thing about too though,
what's that?
Also, I feel like my name is so special. There's something about Black girls whose middle name is Nicole.
Wow.
I have a thing about that. I have a thing. My best friend, her middle name is Nicole. My other good girlfriend, her middle name is Nicole. I went to work with two girls, really good girlfriends. Their middle name was Nicole. And one of a podcaster I love, her name is Takia Nicole. It's like, of course it was a very popular name, but I feel like I'm doubly special in the Black girl culture.
That's right. It's mixed all in. It's all mixed in.
Blackness.
All the blackness.
You have all up in there.
All of that. So I was looking at I think I saw with the silhouette of Africa there were hoodies as well.
Yes, so they're unisex hoodies. I upgraded to premium or more premium brand. The cuffs are thicker, more reinforced. There's no pilling. The ink is a little bit more I guess decadent. It doesn't really break or anything. You can wash it. It's great for, I've seen people put blazers on top, push the sleeves up.
Okay.
I've seen people freak it out. I mean, I just put my hood on and just go about my business.
Go on like a regular hoodie.
Freak it out, really, absolutely.
Let me ask you something. I really wanted to get back to that the whole thing with the classic, I guess, ideal of beauty. I mean, when I read that, because we're in the hair industry and, you have, like with me, I'm a trichologist, so I deal a lot with people who have lost their hair. They are losing their hair. And we do any and everything. And it's like, it's only just hair until you don't have any. It's only just hair until not only you don't have any, it doesn't grow, it doesn't perform the way it used to. And so I think that a lot of times we are chasing what we believe beauty to be. And so it's so funny because if you're straight, then if your hair is straight or if
it's straight, it's self-hate.
Right. If it's straight, then it's like, you hate yourself. And then if it's not straight and it's natural, then it's like, oh, you're lazy. And it's like no one's allowed to be them. And so then I'm a fake natural. People would say you're fake natural because I'm not relaxed, but I'm colored. And so you think about these classic ideals and these things these boxes that we put ourselves into, concerning beauty. So what is your take on that?
I've been, so as I've gotten older, I've really decided to share with other women that, of course we know this, but my opinion is the only opinion that matters. My hair usually goes, this is the darkest my hair has been for in a while. My hair is usually a lighter color. definitely blonde. And I've definitely had people, say, well, how could you be pro-black, natural, and have blonde hair? And
Right.
and I dare not say, because it's ridiculous. Well, there's people in Melanesia that have natural blonde hair. I know a girl around the corner got natural blonde hair because I want to. That's it.
Right.
The gold in my skin and the orangish, blondish in my hair, when the sun hits, I look amazing. And that's
Right.
why I do it. I don't think I'm less black. I don't believe that I'm less natural. It's just, there's an alternative ways to live your lives. And this is an alternative way to be natural. If
Absolutely.
you care about your hair, if you take care of your hair, and at this point, that's what I tell women. If you are ready to take care of your hair with this new alternative way of being natural, then by all means do it, and I'll help you through it. But as far as worrying about anybody else, I'm learning day by day that matters not. So that's my message to everyone that comes into the salon. Let's just take care of your hair. Let's make sure it's healthy on the inside and out. Let's make sure, whatever reasons that you want to do a drastic change, have you been thinking about it? We go through all those things, especially with consultations. So you cannot make everyone happy. You'll drive yourself crazy. And the moment that you are dead and gone, they'll be like, and now on to you. So
right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's like my thing. It's like, you feel, and I thank you so much for everyone that's joining. Please share. I'm interviewing Myeashia. She's amazing. But one of the things that is always so very disheartening to me is when I see people come into the clinic and they're looking for hair restoration or different treatments to help their scalps. And it's like, they got there because they were chasing this. Some of them were chasing this kind of beauty, this type, like this illusion, this thing. And it's like you're gorgeous. Your hair is like, if I say, oh, wow, your hair is really pretty. No, because I see the wave or I see the crinkle or, it's hard like my daddy or, it's too soft like my mom. And it's like, wow. And then I look at your page and I see all the beautiful things that you do to just hair, and I really think that it's encouraging for you to be, Afrocentric and, it's like you're pro-black and all of that. But you understand that it's like you don't have to beat people up because you're natural and now your hair is blonde or it's red or it's pink.
Yes. Let me be clear. I've come a very long way. I was one of the first. I just wasn't technological savvy. Excuse me. I was one of the first natural hair Nazis. It was disgusting.
Come on.
I turned my best friend off. We would have horrible conversations. I was so appalling to
wow.
I have to be honest about it. It was disgusting. I had this air about me that I just, I am better. I know who I am. You don't. You know what I'm saying? It was horrible. And I've tried to do a lot to really turn that around, just with understanding where it comes from. It does not equate to self-hate. It doesn't. Maybe you just want to see something different. But I also do believe, like, when people come in and they have these issues, I also believe that body dysmorphia is real. I also believe that. So it's just like, there's so many layers. And the way we have, in the past, especially, but still now, attack Black women, like we aren't being attacked already for how we look, and now, as soon as you walk out you say all your mantras in your bedroom, you walk outside and the world tells you you're ugly. Then you go to the office, then the secretary, she's like, hey girl, so, and say something about your hair, and it's just, and then you go to the salon because you don't know what to do your hair. And the salon, the stylist, she's saying all kinds of stuff. I'm just trying my best to, unfortunately, when people were holding the mirror in my face, I couldn't see it. But I'm trying my best now to be reflective about that, because there's so many women that still, I'm on Twitter all the time, they still don't know how to do anything because they're terrified to ask. And humans are already humans already don't want to show other people that they don't know. But when it comes to like grooming, why wouldn't a woman know how to groom themselves? So now it's like, what you mean you know how to braid? Instead of saying, girl, but look, I know I got this pattern. Don't show nobody else. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying my best. I'm trying my best to do that, to be that way. And I don't do it every single time, but I just remember how some of my friends, some of my family, some of my peers felt. And I don't want anyone else to feel that way. And I want somebody, when they meet me or meet one of the sisters that work in the salon with me, to walk away knowing that they were cared for and they were understood, they were empathized with, and they are walking away with a little bit more knowledge, because it's always a lot of information. But if they take away 10% of what I told them, that's a start.
Right. And you know what? That's really awesome. I see clients that come in, and I have the clients that are like corporate, and so beautiful Black women, and they're like in the salon, we blackety black, right? And you know, it's like, girl, this and that. But then when we get down into the conversation, it's like, you know, my boss, one of my clients, her boss is a gay white man, and he says, I got a wig like that, you know, and she's like mortified, because she's like, first of all, it's not a wig, it's a weave. Second of all, she's like, how does he, you know, come off trying to relate to me that way? And then I have another client who's like, she wants her hair done, she wants it clean, but when it's done, it can't be too neat, because she doesn't want to look too groomed, but she doesn't want people to think that she got her hair done, because that's what Black people do. And
you don't want to look conceited. You want to look groomed. You don't want to look conceited or like you're overly or overtly concerned about your looks. It comes off as vain. It comes off as empty and shallow. And it's a shame, because it's just like, I just want my hair done. I want to look nice.
Want to look nice.
I have a few clients like that they're types of physicians, and they want their, you know, they get their hair done the same way each and every time. And it's like, the parts have to be a certain way. The parts can't be like precise. The parts can't be precise. The parts cannot be tight. I have to do it wet, and I have to, you know, there's a way that they want it, because if they come in with their hair laid down, the other physicians or their other people will be like, you know, like, hey girl, you know what I'm saying? So it's amazing, because and of course W.E.B. Du Bois talks about the double consciousness, and it's just like, when it comes to being a Black woman, there's more layers than that. You know, there's so many more layers than that. There's so many more, especially the professional ones. There's so many more layers of professionalism. You know, or you know, who are you talking to at this moment? You know, and it's a lot. It's way too much. It's way too much, and they have to think about all of these things. You paid $80, and you don't want your hair, your just natural hair, to look like
it was done. Like it was done. Like
you're shaking your roots. You know, not for volume, just so your coworkers won't point you out in the middle of a meeting.
Right. And say, look at her hair. And I'm like, wow, like you paid for this. You know, it's like my client will say, it looks nice, but it looks too nice. And I'm like, okay. Yeah. And, you know, it's really sad because like, even with, like you said, like changing the hairstyle, like when they get the courage to change the hairstyle, I had one client who I changed the hairstyle. It looks amazing. She loves it. And then she breaks down crying. And she's like, I can't walk into my job like this. Yeah. I am a nurse manager, and they will know. And I'm like, it's okay. Like, you comb your hair. So it's really big. I mean, listen, there's a lot to it, but I'm really proud of the work that you're doing in your salon, in the community, just in lives. And I just I feel like everyone that follows you and that interacts with you is absolutely blessed, not only because your name is Myeashia, because it is, okay? Because her name is Myeashia.
And when I was younger, when I first like introduced, because when you're young and you say, like they know they find out who you are through word of mouth. And when I was younger, I'm like, well, I go by Oshun. And they're like, okay, Myeashia, I want some cornrows, and I would be like, so. But now that I'm adult and I know who I am, and I understand, you know, it's a spiritual name and I go by. There are a few people that try to be slick with it, and I used to cringe because, you know, trying to find my own autonomy. But now it's just like there's so many ebbs and flows of it that it warms my heart. Now I'm like, oh, you think you know me? You still don't.
Right. You don't know me. You don't know me. That's cute though. That's real cute. That's so funny because when I would say oh, my name is Myeashia, you know, it's like, oh, Myeashia. Well, actually, what I wanted to say was I remember when I first started beauty school, and people would say, oh, Myeashia, you're gonna do hair, and I'm like, I don't want to do hair because, well, I'm not gonna braid because if anybody that says, oh, her name is Myeashia, she must be able to braid. And I'm like,
talk about the hierarchy of natural hair.
Okay, please.
So that's a thing too, you know. So the stereotypes of,
yes.
And I tell people, you know, although, and I believe I am loved, I feel like I am loved, I see it, I witness it, you know, and I love my clients, but I feel like the impression that I get is like, when it comes to, of course, when the hair industry, that natural hair, but our type, like my type of natural hair, like just using a little bit of Canicolon or human hair. And that way, some people try to make it seem it's either avant-garde for editorial work, or it's like for the hood, or it's country. And it's it blows my mind that it's this hierarchy that I see. It has to be a certain type of braid that's up here, or a certain type of way of styling that's down there. It's really funny to see. And it's just like, you really have to bust out and work so hard, you know, with either African names, hood names, you know, whatever, you know. And it's just if people could just mind their business.
That would be like so good, because like I'll be over here minding mine, and I'm drinking water and minding my business, but nobody's minding theirs. They're all in my stuff. Like, you know, this is really crazy. But I don't want to hold you too long, but I do want to ask you, what's next? What classes do you have going on? What's coming up? What is next for Myeashia?
Right. So what's next is dates to be determined. The last class I was supposed to have was March 22nd. And of course, the quarantine, COVID happened, and it shut everything down. So that was a natural hair class, basically learning how to do my techniques of twisting, which teaches basically foundation, hair, like tension, communication with the client, you know, just symmetry, all of those things. So to be determined, hopefully in a few weeks, I can figure something out. I also have something coming up with another brand that'll also show another way of twisting and styling. Hopefully I'll have something. If people could just follow the River Oshun, the River _Oshun on Instagram, and the River Oshun on Facebook, everything will be there. And also you can join the newsletter. Everything will be there as well. Also, with the audacity of She, I have a sex positivity series called She's Becoming. It's a play off, of course, of Michelle Obama, such a powerful woman. Also a play off of the word come. So, and basically it's, we get together and we talk, and there's usually subjects like, you know, orgasms, or, you know, sensual touch. But basically we get and we talk, and we just release. You know, we release childhood trauma. And a lot of times, you know, it's not a therapeutic thing where there's doctors or anything, but I have community leaders, sex therapists, sex workers, massage therapists. I have healthcare workers, and we come, there's lots of wine, there's toys, there's, it's amazing. So that's called She's Becoming. I think I might have to do a virtual, but to check out, keep an eye out for the newsletter. And hopefully I'll have more information with whatever we can go outside.
Awesome. So I'm really excited. I thank you so much once again for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Myeashia Oshun Afrique. I'm the girl that I never had.
Okay, sorry.
Oh, because I was going to start that. Hey. Okay. Everybody calm down. Myeashia, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
Please follow her. If you want to see anything on her website, any of her pages, the link is at the bottom, link
The
tree.
audacity of she and the river
Absolutely.
Oshun.
Yes, yes. So make sure that you follow her here on Facebook and also on Instagram and all that other stuff. And I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And
Thank
we'll
you.
talk to you soon.
All right. Bye.